So many games are just action, action, action. Sometimes you just want to sit down and talk things out. Hey, it's Game Rant, and here are the 7 open world games with the best dialogue systems. Number 7. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Truth be told, most of the Elder Scrolls games, online included, could have been placed on this list, but as far as we're concerned, nothing has the breadth and consequence quite like Skyrim. It's easy to pad out a world of doddering fools that ramble a humorous line, but chatting with NPCs in Skyrim can have an immediate benefit in knowing what to do next, as well as uncovering secrets if you happen to have the right skills and alliances. And words are just as valid to solving some quests. Heck, you can talk your way out of trouble with local law enforcement if your tongue is slick enough. Just do not ask that guy what happened to his knee. Number 6. Dragon Age Inquisition. We'd love to put the Mass Effect trilogy on here. One of the most defining RPGs of the 7th generation, BioWare took what they learned from the Knights of the Old Republic and applied it to an original property. Except those games simply aren't open world. Meanwhile, Dragon Age Inquisition did the Herculean feat of bringing an open world RPG to life using the Frostbite engine with BioWare's signature conversation trees that impact situations and relationships and diverge the entire story. But Inquisition had the added bonus of being well written, with original characters such as the Iron Bull being so charismatic you'll actually want to talk to them, among other things. Number 5. Fallout 4. A few years after players took to the snowy mountaintops of Skyrim, Bethesda returned to the radiated wastelands in Fallout 4. Except this time, things were far more chatty. While your character is still yours to design, they would also have a speaking role. The ability to control the world with your persuasive abilities a la New Vegas was absent, instead replaced by a general charisma system, which still granted players the distinct advantage of selling matters with their mouth. And true to Fallout, this one had a bit more personality, allowing players to pick the tone. Brackets, serious, and brackets. Number 4. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey has a lot of voice acting. Throughout the game, you'll encounter hundreds, if not thousands, of NPCs demanding your attention for any variety of needs. But the real kicker is just how entertaining many of these ancient Greek characters and their situations are. And with Axios and Cassandra being naturally quick-witted, it can be quite fun to de-escalate tense situations with nothing more than a logical argument. And if that fails, at least you can land a threatening zinger before things come to blows. Again, this isn't a unique feature, but the writing is so consistently strong, you'll seek out characters to chat with, who will yell at Cassandra as if she couldn't detach their neck from their chin. Ah, the arrogance of ignorance. Number 3. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Again, at this point, we're not breaking new ground. The Witcher series has always included dialogue and decision trees, but it wasn't always especially well written, perhaps due to the intent being lost in translation in the earlier games. But by Witcher 3, the NPCs are so finely articulated in speech and manner, being grounded into this elaborate fantasy world, that you'll actively avoid combat just to see what options a conversation will uncover. But it's more than a list of options. Wild Hunt's conversation trees make each situation feel surprisingly canonical to the greater story, regardless of whatever silly backwoods yokel squabble Geralt has gotten himself into. It's like a Tolkien episode of Cops. Number 2. Cyberpunk 2077. Back-to-back CD Projekt Red projects. If we had to pick between The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, we're gonna give it to Cyberpunk for its dialogue options. As either a scrappy outlaw, a busted corpo suit, or a street kid ne'er-do-well, your past will inform the sorts of conversations V can engage in, and uncover potential deceptions or opportunities. Rather handy when dealing with the two-faced world of Night City. Running a situation back via a quick save really highlights how drastically different a conversation can go. Sometimes you'll make new friends, and they'll even give you a present. Other times you'll need to make their computer brains explode. The important thing is to start with the dialogue. Number 1. Disco Elysium. There's simply no other open world game quite like Disco Elysium. Taking place in a constrained city environment, players won't be picking their characters. You're stuck as Harry Du Bois, a downright detestable police detective. But that is before you inhabit him, and now you're in control of his internal monologue, turning his empathy and understanding, or lack thereof, into a developed skill when dealing with the external world, which again isn't very big, but large enough to recreate the way humans interact with each other based on their understandings of themselves, which we think is worth talking about. Anyway, we've chatted enough. Now it's your turn. Let us know what makes the best dialogue system in the thread below. Keep clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.